To replace the faulty recording of the lecture in Contemporary Issues in Accounting at the University of Canberra on the 4th of November. The video is broken up into 5 files. This first one will cover general admin for the lecture. Then there are 4 major sections of the lecture, and I'll create a separate file for each of those just to manage the downloading, and then they'll be posted up to YouTube. And I'll put the links on Moodle for you to find them all. So to start with the lecture for today, I keep constantly looking up because I've got the overheads on my other computer on the screen there, so I'll just click there to see where I am. So starting on slide 3, which is the takeaways. And the first takeaway is that accounting has a stereotype. So we're going to be looking at what that stereotype is and where it came from, and how this impacts on accounting in today's society. The second section is going to be on using artistic metaphors to understand accounting further. This reflects some of the work we've done already in the semester, particularly with Morgan's article. So we'll be expanding on that and showing where these, how this will help us understand accounting. The third section will be how images can influence what we perceive to be in accounting reports. And the final section deals with the way that accounting is all around us in society and influences our society in ways we can't imagine, or the ways that we don't imagine, because the accounting images that are part of our society are basically form white noise. They're there so much of the time we forget about them, we don't pay attention to them, and it's only when I start pointing them out in a talk like this that we see how insidious they are in influencing our society. So moving on to the next slide on the readings, is primarily from the Morgan and Hines articles, but there's some additional reading there, stuff by me, things by Ingrid Jekyll and Jane Davison. The full details of the references are on the last PowerPoint slide in the overheads. Slide 5 talks about the learning outcomes, both for the unit and for the topic, and how this topic fits into the learning outcomes for the unit. So, looking at the topic learning outcomes, what I'm looking at is how the visual helps us understand the role of accounting in society. That our understanding of accounting's role in society is primarily from looking at the products of accounting, the financial reports, and the activities of accountants within society. We don't often think about how visual or images will help us understand this. So I'll explain this more fully as we go through, particularly in the section on looking at the artistic metaphors. The next thing I'm going to look at, the next learning outcome, is the understanding the power of images. And this will be in this section that deals with accounting in reports and the way that influences how people perceive the reports, and the images of accounting in society to show accounting's place in society. And the final one is seeing accounting's place in society more clearly. Going to start off with the stereotype of accounting, and then at the end look at, again, images of accounting to show what accounting's place is in society. Now moving on to slide 6, the generic skills that will be developed through this topic are on communication. Most of our focus on communication is on verbal and written communication. We don't consciously cover very often how we use images to communicate. So this will be introducing you to the use of images for communication and whether that's a good or bad thing. We'll then go into analysis and inquiry and the way that images can subvert or enhance our perception of data. And this will particularly come up when we're looking at the way images are used in financial reports. When we get to problem solving, the way that images can help us understand a problem in ways that aren't apparent just from looking at data. And finally, showing how images can help us understand the broader impact of accounting in society and to appreciate the ways that images can create these understandings that is not as easily done with other forms of communication. So this is where I'll finish the introductory section. The next section will be the stereotypes, and they'll be posted up fairly shortly. Okay. So look out for the next section.